back at the S.H.I.T.S podcast, where we either shooting the shit, starting some shit, or picking up what shit left off. I'm your host, Monsoon's the raw, coolest cat you heard thus far, aka DJ Booty Rubber, like no other. If you don't believe me, man, go ask your mother. Hey, man, check it out, y'all. This week, man, we got a very, very special guest to the podcast. Hey, man, this dude has been putting it down on the Chicago music scene as far as an MC, writer, curator, and just all around just doing what the fuck you got to do to help the scene prosper. So with no further ado, I want y'all to put y'all motherfucking hands together and show some love for the one, the only, Griffin, y'all.
Thanks for having me, though, man. What's good?
No problem, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, bro.
All day.
So before we go any further, I got to get some shouts out to some people that's making some shit happen. Shout out to the Ownership Club on Soul 106.3 FM. Every Sunday, you can find me on there from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. with the Ownership Club on Soul 106.3 FM. And also, I want to put this out there, too, because I think this shit is very, very, very important. For those who feel like they need people to talk to and they need some type of therapy and you feel like it's not affordable, there is a service, there's an organization that offers free mental health support 24/7. If you feel like you need it, call this number, 708-524-2582. Once again, that's 708-524-2582. They are offering 24/7 mental health support. Whether you need to come in, whether you need to talk on the phone, I think that shit is very, very fucking important, man. Real talk. So, Griffin, on the podcast, man, we like to do a check-in with our guests. And since you are the guest this week, man, how your week been?
I can't complain. It's been a great week.
There we go. I got to compliment you, man, on the merch, man. Like that. Hey, y'all, check that shit out.
Little anti-everything.
Anti-everything.
Fuck everything, bro.
Anti-clout, anti-clicks.
Everything. Anti-you, niggas. Everything.
But I also want to ask this. I also want to ask this question too, because I ask people: you're an artist, you're a curator, you're a writer, you got all this stuff going on. So, on the artistic side, you always working on something, right?
All the time.
But the question I'm getting ready to ask you is about yourself. What are you working on as far as Griffin? What are you working on? Not on no art stuff, but just as yourself.
Shit, being a better dad, G, that's a everyday thing. Like, my kids is more important than this music shit. So I'm working on that
shit pretty much. So is it difficult?
Yeah, life is difficult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm a father myself, so it's so much shit you got to go to, especially being.
My daughter just started high school, bro. Like, yeah, it's difficult.
Oh.
We a week into this shit.
Oh.
It's just like, yeah.
Oh, roll something up, please. Roll something up. I know you need it,
man. It's a whole new world,
man. Okay. God bless you, bro. God bless you. Hey, man, I got a 10-year-old. And I got a 10-year-old daughter. And at 10, I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? You just think about it. So to have one in high school, I commend you, bro.
It's just crazy trying to balance the social media influence and all of the shit that's going on with the sexy reds and the shit, and trying to like keep them grounded and shit and navigate through that, because they getting bombarded with that shit at a ridiculous rate. It's kind of crazy. So.
And they keep the phone in their hand. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? They keep the phone
early on, like, because I saw that shit you see online a lot of times, like kids go off killing their grandmama and shit, doing all kinds of took the phone, like from jump when they was shorty. They didn't even get phones for a minute.
Okay.
And then it's always been restrictive. Like, you already know it's gonna be times you're not gonna have this shit. Like,
right.
Form a dependency on this phone and shit and have some real issue because I took it away. Like,
right.
You know,
that's smart though.
Yeah, we was on that from the beginning. Like, I didn't want the device.
Yeah,
shit to take over and shit, and plus like the influence, the TikTok, all this shit, like they get bogus ass facts that ain't facts on there, and they believe that shit. So I spent a whole lot of time like fixing TikTok shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to like straighten them out. Like, where you hear that shit at? Like, YouTube,
right? Block
that dude. Like, don't watch this goofy ass streamer no more and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they giving y'all the wrong and shit. So trying to navigate that shit is the most difficult shit with the kid shit now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That shit's crazy.
That's love, bro. That's love. Like, real talk. Like I said, man, like, I feel people need to understand, like, being a father in this society where you got so much shit against you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to fight for the shit that's going against you already, but you also got to put yourself out there and make sure that your daughter is straight. See what I'm saying? So, like you said, you got to think about this whole...
important, man. This kid's popping up missing. It's all kind of shit that people aren't paying attention to. Where
At
it's like
all.
I be worried all the time. Like when we was shorties,
bro.
you could hop on your bike. We was all over the city.
And just ride.
She can't leave a block, bro. I be like, where the fuck? Like, where you at? Where you going? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna Apple tag your clothes, your bag. Like,
as you should.
As hell out here, bro.
Hey, man, I got a 16-year-old son, too. And I'm damn near like that with him, bro. For real.
You gotta be. Like, I did, I worked at the Audi home for a couple years.
Okay.
Mentoring the youth or whatever. So this is like the age group where I'm looking at my daughter. She's 14. And I'm mentoring 12, 13, 14-year-olds that's in the Audi home. They locked up for shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So knowing like these the niggas you in school with right now. Like
and these niggas is goofy. Super goofy.
just gone off goof. It's like clout has taken over crack as the like
the
worst
new drug.
epidemic period. It's the most highly addictive drug out here, bro. And it's clout chases all over. But that shit, like the clout shit is a real problem. Where you got niggas, you'll film yourself or your boys doing crime. Because you finna get likes, but y'all niggas finna get years, and you was really thinking about the likes and shit, and it's trying to go worth viral. It for you. And shit. It's like, how the hell is that worth it? Cause like I don't understand.
That's what society. I feel like
it's worth it to them.
That's what society is told. Like that's what society has told them. You know what I'm saying? I think that the sadder part about all that is when you see the adults that fall into the same fucking problem. You get what I'm saying? And then you start to feel like y'all the reason why these motherfuckers act like this.
Cause we got too many weak-minded ass adults out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the bottom line. It's a lot of grown ass kids. If you say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, with kid mentalities, that's grown ass people.
So with that being said, I want y'all to think about what I said earlier. If you feel like you need that mental support, call that fucking number, because I feel like it's a lot of adults that didn't have that growing up, and they just had to adapt, and they never had a motherfucker to talk to, but somebody to actually tell them the shit that they doing is goofy as fuck and they need help. You know what I'm saying? And then, how can I put this? A dysregulated child turns into a dysregulated adult. You know what I'm saying? Who ends up having a kid, and this cycle just keeps fucking going and going and going.
Discipline issue, like motherfuckers don't got discipline no more, bro.
Not at all.
You got no impulse control and no discipline and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, whatever you want right now, gotta go get it. Maybe on this best life shit when it's like, best life means a long one.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That you had all the shit you needed. Y'all on some best life tonight. And that ain't the lick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they convinced that it is.
That's a t-shirt right there. The best life is a long one. Straight up. I mean,
Ain't it though? I mean, getting old sucks, but getting old is dope. Like,
I mean, like, isn't that the goal though?
Yeah,
Shouldn't that be
it's
the goal?
supposed to be, but for a lot of them, the goal is to go out. It's like the what movie was that? Top of the World, Mom, with a motherfucker. Public Enemy or whatever it was. But you know what I'm talking about? This shit
with
the old shit, the old black and white joint. Yeah. Top of the World, Mom. Public Enemies. So like, but that's like the mentality of motherfuckers. Like, man, tonight it's all about tonight. I'm finna do this shit big tonight.
Right.
Niggas is not worried about next Wednesday.
Right. You only live once. You know what I'm saying?
But you only die once too, goofy ass nigga. Know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah, you only live once, so savor the motherfucker. Don't blow the motherfucker because it's only one time. Why? That don't make sense, G.
Yeah. I mean, but a lot of motherfuckers ain't saying what you saying. And that's the problem. You get what I'm saying? Everybody ain't saying what you saying. And so many motherfuckers just, they hear that line and they just agree with it and they run with it a whole different way. Like, it's different perspectives to everything. You get what I'm saying? And it just seems like with the whole social media thing, we're only giving one perspective. You know what I'm saying? And depending on how many likes they got.
Capitalism. We in that society, so it's corporate run.
Right.
So the shit we're giving is the shit that gets their bottom line hit every day. You know what I'm saying? What's gonna sell the most shit this quarter, this day, this whatever.
Right.
Like, that's the system we in. So it's fucked up because it affects the mentality of the people in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we capitalists and shit. And that shit, the problem with capitalism is there's no ceiling. You just gotta keep, like, if a company like Apple, they done made more money than anybody in the history of making money.
Right.
And if they don't make more money next year, they failing.
Right.
Nigga, how? Y'all made more money last year than anybody ever did, but if you don't make more money than that next year, you fucked up. And that's capitalism. And that's fucked up, where it's like, y'all $1 trillion company, bro. And you still be like, we need to lay off some niggas.
How?
The fuck for?
Right.
Because we ain't make more money in Q2 than blah. Like all this that's capitalism, and that's the problem where there's no cap, no limit and shit. You know.
Hey yo, we gotta take a break real quick. Hey yo, shout out to all the motherfuckers out there that's greedy as fuck and don't even realize the beauty that's right there in front of you, your stupid ass. Hey man, it's just podcast, man. It's the shit.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Monsoons, the Rod from the Ownership Club and the Shits Podcast. Just letting y'all know about the hottest after party going on every Sunday at the Hideaway, 1245 Burnham Avenue in Calumet City, Illinois. Every Sunday, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's the shit.
Back at the Shits Podcast, we either shooting shit, starting some shit, or picking up a shit left off. Hey y'all, I got
or just being the shit.
Exactly. I got the phenomenal Griffin in the house, man. And yo, so man, I love the way you broke all that down, bro, earlier about the capitalism, about the social media, about the mental health, and I like the fact that you talked about you worked with the youth and you working with the youth. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like with music, especially with the Chicago scene, the youth still need that fucking mentoring, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like the youth in music still need that mentoring. Like I've ran across people that be like, man, I heard your album from 20 plus years ago. You know what I'm saying? As shorties, and then they see you out in the street, and it's like you are the people like yourself are the ones that's keeping this culture thriving. You know what I'm saying? So my question to you is, how were you first introduced to Chicago hip hop?
Chicago hip hop specifically?
Yeah.
Chicago hip hop. I mean, that's because technically, like, hip hop is more than just rap shit.
Right.
So just by going to parties and being around hip hop shit, that's
Okay.
Chicago hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
being around niggas breakdancing and shit.
Okay.
And that was like shorty. Like I don't even remember a time when there wasn't
Hip hop involved.
that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the first hip hop song I heard was "Daha" by fucking Rapping Duke.
Rapping Duke. I
Right.
remember that shit. Yeah.
Like my dad, he
was
used to work
he white?
who? Rapping Duke?
Duke. Was he?
I have no idea. I don't know. He was trying to sound like fucking John Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
I don't
to
know
this
if
day, I
he
don't know if
was.
he was black or white,
I have no
yeah.
idea, but I think I was like 6 or 7 years old, and my dad used to work at WVON,
Okay.
which is a black radio station, Voice of the Negroes. That's like it was one of the biggest.
I didn't know it stood for that.
Yeah.
And
VON.
wait, what was it based out of?
Here,
Based out of Chicago?
Chicago, WVON. That shit been out, boy. Hey, you need to do some knowledge.
I
on
got
your
to.
own
I
shit,
got-
boy.
I got
Like what? WVON. It's on the south side and shit, the studios or whatever. But that shit's been there since I want to say like the 60s.
Whoa.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
got some
Like,
work to do.
But Voice of the Negroes is the name of the shit. VON was the callers
Okay.
or whatever. But he used to work there. He was a DJ on the shit. But sometimes I would go to work with him.
Okay.
And there was a janitor dude there that'd be there at night. He like, yo, check this out. And he played this record for me, and I was tweaking off this shit. Like, what the fuck is
this?
what is this? Like,
Right.
But it was hilarious and it was dope. But that was like my introduction to that. And to me, that's Chicago hip hop because I was in Chicago when I got exposed to all of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's all a part of it. Like the vibe, the feeling, or whatever. You know. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
even say like when I started rapping is when, or when I seen niggas from here rapping, or nah, because it was break dancers. It was Marks with the spikes looking like breaking two and shit. Like out here on the corner, we had the
Turn
linoleum,
the arms on,
pull it out,
yeah.
unroll the joint, breaking on the corner, like all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that was from again like 7 years old. So
Yeah. So real quick, B Street or breaking?
breaking is bullshit. Beat Street is the actual shit. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like
well-
if you want to know what hip hop was like then, is for the most part like what we was on, all the elements and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like it's all in Beat Street.
Yeah.
Breaking was like white savior complex. Somebody got to come in and you know that whole
It was more-
that shit.
Like I want to say, like I always felt like it was more pop. It was more pop, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
or
it's-
pop breakdance, whatever you want to call
It's
it.
Hollywood and shit. Like Beat Street is an authentic hip hop story.
Yeah.
Whereas Breaking like follows the whole writer's what is that shit called? The writer's journey or hero's
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
So the chick, the white chick that comes in, she's like the hero. It's her story. This
Right.
shit is not about hip hop.
It really
It's about the
wasn't.
white chick
It really was
going
about-
from the white world or whatever and doing this street dance shit. Like
Right.
that's what that whole shit. It was her movie. So it
Yeah.
really wasn't like I don't look at that shit like some hip hop shit. We was the backdrop to her story. Whereas B Street was a story about these the dudes that's in it. You know what I'm saying? With spit and the whole, like, it was about that shit.
And it just felt organic, bro.
It was just
it felt
that's
good.
how we would have told the story. Whereas if you look at Breaking, that's how some rich white motherfuckers would tell the story. Like, they gotta come in and save these youth that's in trouble, and they, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that goofy ass shit. Like, and I don't knock Breaking, like, it for what it was. Like, it put hip hop in front of audiences that normally wouldn't have seen the shit.
True.
So I mean, elements of it, because it was still mostly the corny side of the shit, but. Yeah. Who ain't want to be Turbo with the broom? Like,
that's what I was about to say.
Who ain't want to do that? Like
Ozone.
Iconic. Later, now we looking like this nigga had on half top shirts and the crazy. But back then it was like, this motherfucker cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, now we like, what the fuck was this nigga wearing?
Like, bro, do you realize?
And rest in peace, Boogaloo and shit. I just.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, long live that nigga.
Do you realize
too, I think,
how many motherfuckers you could blackmail if you showed pictures of the shit they was wearing?
No, you can't, because the shit Ice-T had on in that movie was fucking C, and he's all right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that shit ain't gonna work. But yeah, niggas had on some wild shit in the Breaking movie.
It was suspect. It was
borderline like a motherfucker. Like, that shit. Yeah, that shit.
It was real
crazy.
Suspect. And then I think about even some of the scenes, man. Like, you know, motherfuckers meeting up in the alley, like all tough and shit to dance. And every time I watch this shit, I be like.
That's the West Side Story influence. That's when you get into the Hollywood side where they coming up with, oh, let's do this scene like this. And they go, West Side Story, and then they break that down. So you see that's really West Side Story influence of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where, again, that's Breaking was the Hollywood version.
So it's funny that you said that,
B
because
Street was the shit.
It makes me think about how the shit was just recycled. So you see movies like what's the fuck is this shit with Columbus Short in it? The dancing movie, Columbus Short, Chris Brown. What the fuck was that? Stomp the Yard. Yeah, them. Like, and I always tell motherfuckers, I do not like dance movies because, like, the shit is not realistic. I be feeling like, who the fuck meets up? Who plans a battle to meet up and just dance against each other?
They need an excuse for these choreographers to do some shit. Like, they didn't hire choreographers to do shit. Now they got to have makeup scenes for that to happen.
Right.
You know, it's all like, that's a skeleton. That's a blueprint or something. And they cookie cutter that shit out. You know what I'm saying? It's, yeah.
It just come off as real corny to me. It always felt fucking corny to me. But like you said, B Street, it was like, hey, that shit felt like, I mean, I guess for lack of better words, it felt real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it just felt like you get a real idea of what it was like in the 80s to be in the hip hop shit.
Yeah. To
be involved in the culture and the community of hip hop in the 80s, late 80s and shit was just like that.
Yeah.
So you got to take a glimpse into the lives of these 3 or 4 characters,
right?
And they roll. You know what I'm saying? You got the young dude mad, his brother ain't letting them do shit.
Yeah.
They got their crew or whatever. Then you got the graffiti battles.
Yep.
Then the dancers and shit, and they on their own thing. So it's like you got a glimpse in the mentality of like, this some everyday shit. But like, people also live this shit for real and like be on that. You know what I'm saying?
And also with you being a curator, I would like to point out you also had the aspect of the dude that was putting shows together or trying to put shows together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was like
all of that's what I mean. Like, that movie represented all of the elements of this shit we doing.
Yeah.
Except it didn't really get into the media side because it didn't even exist yet. But I'm just saying, like, for what it was for then, it was like we touched on that movie touched on all the elements of what hip hop encapsulated and shit.
Exactly.
Whereas Breaking was the surface level shit and what it looked like from outside of. No, I'm not. Yeah. I don't even. Like, when it came out, like, I was at the theater to see this shit. Like, it wasn't nothing out like that.
Right.
Like, this shit wasn't in theaters and it wasn't in your face like that. Like,
especially for us, we didn't see that shit.
It was hidden. Hip hop was some old secret society ass shit. So just having it be on that platform was dope. You know what I'm saying? Now in hindsight, you look back like, this shit was corny as shit, and you could pick it apart all day.
Like a motherfucker.
But it wasn't shit out like that.
Right.
So hats off to them for even taking a chance and doing that shit, because you know what I'm saying, like, there wasn't no, you ain't know that shit was gonna make money or any of that shit.
Like
at the time it probably didn't make money. Like, I don't know what the box office was like on that shit, but they didn't know one way or the other. It wasn't no guaranteed that shit gonna slam dunk because it's hip hop. Like now, where you put that shit in a commercial, your shit gonna sell.
everything.
At that time, they didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
They
shit
thought it was a
wasn't thing.
fad. They felt like it was a fad. It ain't gonna be around next 5 years. Now you look up hip hop and celebrated 50 fucking years. You get what I'm saying? That scene with Turbo.
Because if niggas kept rapping like da it would have been a fad. That shit wouldn't have did shit. Like you had to change it up, nigga. If motherfuckers kept rapping like that, yeah, it wouldn't have lasted long.
But put like this, at the time, I don't even know if I could say it was dope. It was new. It was new. It was
that song particularly, or
no, that song particular.
It was.
Cause you never heard it.
Right, that's what I mean. But it was still funny. It was like, where are Yankovic? Like, is this dope or is it just? It's hilarious and I fuck with it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, we gotta take a break real quick. Hey, yo, shout out to all the motherfuckers out there that just start rapping and rapping like Rapping Duke. And man, get your goof ass out of here, man. Change your style out, man. It's just podcast. It's the shit.
Hey everybody, it's comedian Stephanie Robertson with the shits. Come check it out. You can follow me on Instagram at Stephanie__Robertson. I will see you there. Make sure to follow.
Yeah. We are now back at the Shits Podcast. And we in here, we got my man Griffin in the house. And we just breaking down the evolution of rap. Da ha, da ha. Da ha 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 ha.
You come a long way, baby.
Exactly. So can you remember the first venue you performed at?
Yep. So the first show I did was at St. Xavier University.
Okay.
And it was I got paid $150.
That's beautiful. How old were you? Mind me asking.
13, 14.
Oh, that's even better.
And I took 2 of my homies with me and shit to do the shit, and we didn't have like no songs. We was just freestylers and shit. So like we freestyled the show. Now the problem was, this was at a time when it was the house versus hip hop shit.
I remember that.
So it was a house-o-matic show. So the whole audience was all
Dances.
They had on hammer pants and sequins and shit like
with the polka dot,
with the whole because they
shirts.
was doing their shit. So it was like a dance thing, but we was opening up. I didn't know that shit though. You know what I'm saying? So we come out on some hippity hop shit. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers like the crowd was not feeling that shit. You know what I'm saying? At all, it was fuck whatever. So we did our shit. We got off stage, but my man runs back on stage on some fuck house music. And runs off the stage and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm back. I'm talking to this shit. She got my check. You know what I'm saying? It was a university shit, so they got budget or whatever. I'm getting a check and shit. And I just see these motherfuckers running. And they running. I get the check. I'm running. We running. Motherfuckers chasing us out the auditorium because this nigga on some fuck hip hop.
Damn, you can't fuck with the house of
Shout out to Malik and Woody and shit. I'm sorry, not this shit. But yeah, that was the first shit I ever did. And it was some... We just got it on the whim because I told them like yeah, I rap, I rap, whatever. Like but we got this show. We need to. They was trying to pay people. Like they had a budget and they was trying to get it off. Yeah. So I ended up. It was like some house-o-matic, some shit. It was a house thing. You know what I'm saying? And we came on some super hip hop shit with the BDs and the peppermint sticks and the fucking backpacks and shit, like the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was fun, but it could have ended bad.
Dangerous.
Shit was crazy. That was my first joint. Shout out to St. Xavier University and shit. That shit was cool.
So what made you want to rap?
The fact that you could cuss on a record. Honestly, that was the whole draw. Like I heard Ice Cube when NWA dropped. Yeah. Dope Man. And I first started hearing those records and shit. Like I was like, I want to do that shit. Like Ice Cube, the way he cussed. Yeah. Like really it was all about
that's
that
the
for
fuck
me.
I
And that was like my intro to it. Was like it was just some old out of the norm shit. Like you're not supposed to do that. Like at the time, like you couldn't, like they was getting arrested for cussing on stage. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was some shit you couldn't really
can't do that shit now.
Do. And I was just like,
everybody cussing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's like I want to piss people off like that. You know what I'm saying? Like and from there, that's when I started writing my own shit. Like the first shit I recorded was over DLC instrumentals from that first album. Like It's Funky Enough and No One Can Do It Better and shit. Okay. Like those, and my brother's a DJ, so he had equipment and shit. So I literally tape deck, record the shit, put the wax on, and grab the DJ mic. Yeah. Or but for the mic, because it was through the headphones. Because if you plug the headphones into the mic jack,
motherfucker.
You plug the headphones into the mic jack, you could talk through that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm talking through the headphones, like I rap through the headphones over DLC instrumentals. That was like my first shit, but it was all inspired off hearing Ice Cube do Dope Man and Gangsta Gangsta. I think that was like a B-side. It was like the 12-inch and
Yeah.
shit was dope, man. The Gangsta from them was just like, yo,
Both
I
of
heard
those was
that.
dope as fuck too.
I heard them shits like, yo, who the fuck is this dude? Like, and I want to do that shit.
So you said two names, man, that really stood out to me. One of them is Ice Cube. The
Shout
other
out
one
to
is
Knight for stealing my lighter.
the other one is the DOC, and I feel like, to me, both of them motherfuckers are phenomenal writers.
Motherfucking ass.
Both of them motherfuckers are phenomenal writers.
You said DLC and Ice Cube?
Yeah.
Yes. No one can do it better. It's still like in my top 10 rap albums of all time and shit. And it's ill because I got the email back and forth and DM with DOC and shit, and that shit one of the surreal moments.
Oh,
like,
man.
Conversations with this nigga's like, yo, because he's definitely one of my favorite motherfuckers. Like, I thought this nigga was the coldest motherfucker.
He was.
Like, ever. Like, he's cold.
So I was gonna ask you, okay, do you think if he would have never got into that accident, where would the DOC be placed as far as top 10 MCs?
I'm saying, if that shit never happened, and cause like, dude, that shit happened right after he got done recording the album type shit. Like,
And
it was like 2
bro,
weeks after the release.
That
or some
fucking
shit.
album, you can listen to that album straight
That shit
through.
is fucking incredible, except Beautiful but Deadly, but whatever. It's at the end, so it don't really matter and shit. But everything else on that motherfucker is like, yeah, this shit is crazy.
Right.
But he would be, like, look at where Snoop is, and he's Snoop's mentor. pretty much.
That's
So
a
it'd be
damn
like
good
the
point.
DLC would be like on some Snoop shit. Like, he was the first motherfucker that Dre was like, this my solo nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah, no, I
Dre
definitely
done
see what you're
touched
saying.
like that. It's like you got DOC, Snoop, Eminem, 50 Cent. It's specific motherfuckers Dre done touched. Pause. You know what I'm saying? That's like, that turned it to like, these are some of the most phenomenal motherfuckers you've ever heard.
Because they're dope writers.
He
They're
was-
dope
he was-
writers.
It was like Ice Cube, but in the group, but DOC. Like, that's a motherfucker Dre.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, this motherfucking shit. So it would have been like, I think that level, because like The Chronic would have been a fucking DOC record, not a Dr. Dre record.
Because he did a lot of writing on the
But
Chronic.
he was leaving Easy and took Doc with him.
Yeah.
So the first shit they would have been on wouldn't have been like a Dr. Dre record. That shit would have changed the trajectory a lot. There probably wouldn't have been a Snoop like
That's what I
that.
say. It probably wouldn't have been a Snoop.
You know what I'm
Real
saying?
shit.
Because if there was no Chronic, no deep cover, if DOC
That's a damn good point,
voice
bro.
was whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, Snoop probably wouldn't have even got that look because
Damn.
Dre would have been producing Doc's second album type shit at
Yeah.
that time. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
wouldn't have been no fucking Chronic.
That's a... Bro, I
Because
mean, like...
if you think about it and like listen to interviews, Dr. Dre said the DOC is the reason why he even did the Chronic. This nigga was the one telling him, yo, you need to do an album. And I'm sure he's only doing that because, like, nigga, I can't do it. Like, I can't fucking rap right now.
Right.
So you got to do the shit. So
Right.
if he could talk and all that shit, he wouldn't have been telling the nigga, you need to do the album. He'd be
would've
like,
did it
man,
himself.
lace me up, G.
We did it
I'm
himself.
finna kill this shit. He'd have knocked that. We'd have had, that nigga would have been on a Tupac run, bro. I feel. So it would have, that shit would have changed shit, West Coast hip hop, which is crazy because that nigga from Texas. A Dallas nigga would have changed the whole landscape to West Coast hip hop. And he kind of still did because he was behind the scenes for Doggy Style, the sequencing.
So many motherfuckers,
all
though.
that
I mean,
shit,
like he wrote for so many motherfuckers.
Dude,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
MC Breed best album, DOC Ghost wrote that shit. That the new
Get the
Breed
fuck outta
album,
here.
and, just another clip into my AK and all them songs. Like MC Breed, coldest fucking record. DOC the ghostwriter for that shit. Look that shit up. The one where he got the song with Tupac.
Yeah, gotta get mine.
DOC
You gotta
pen
use
all
it.
behind that bitch, Joe. Like, do the knowledge on that shit. I'm telling you, I know this nigga. He was my favorite fucking rapper at the time for a long time, G.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even off that, I seen a nigga perform in concert before he fucked the shit up.
Okay.
As a shorty. Like, I was at the motherfucking shit.
Right.
Like, my brother took me to that shit. I'll never forget that shit. Them nigga, when everybody was on tour with 2 Live Crew, it would be like a whole bunch of rap motherfuckers in there, 2 Live Crew, like on every tour.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy.
So is it safe to say that you come from an era where writing was very important? You know what I'm saying? Lyricism, content was very important.
I mean, more than lyricism, it was originality.
Okay.
Like, you could, because you take a motherfucker like Biz Markie. This nigga ain't a super lyricist,
No, not at all.
but he got his own lane. Niggas respect it and rock with what he on.
Yeah.
This nigga
Yeah.
doing songs called Picking Boogers.
I was about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Doodle
about
rap,
some other
the
shit.
doodle rap. I
Right. Like
gotta
this shit is
doodle,
hilarious.
yeah.
Where you see later you got Devin the Dude. It's kind of on some Biz Markie shit, but more talented and shit.
But
You
Devin
know
the
what I'm saying?
Dude can spit.
Oh, he's
bro.
cold.
Devin
But
the
I'm
Dude
just
can
saying
fucking
on as
spit.
far as that, he could do songs like I'm in the bathroom boo booing because Biz Markie did doodle rap.
Right.
Like that happened. So now there's you could do that. The same way where I'm like, I ain't think about rap, so Ice Cube was cussing. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, you could do that. I'm finna do that.
I'm about to
You
do
know
that
what
shit.
I'm saying? Like,
I'm definitely about to do it now.
so yeah, but on some everybody had their own lane on some originality shit.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's not even about lyricism and who the rawest like all the it's not about that shit at all, G. It's about like your own personal flavor and how you let that shit shine out. And
Right.
motherfuckers is attracted to it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's not like I use the best words or I got the most metaphors or my shit's a quadruple entendre. Like, dude, that shit's cool.
Yeah.
But it ain't the like, it's really like, you know what I'm saying? Are you an original personality? Are you a motherfucker I want to smoke one with?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that type of shit.
I think we gotta take a break. Hey, hey yo, shout out to all the motherfuckers out there, man, that wrote their rap so they were sitting on the toilet and you really came up with that shit. It's the Shits podcast, y'all. It's the shit.
Jaja Smith, Zevin Heaven at gmail.com, Zevin Heaven at Instagram, Zevin Heaven, Facebook, Jaja Smith, Facebook, Jaja Smith 20, Instagram. I have the cupcakes that you need. I have the cupcakes that you want and all the flavors, any flavor that you can imagine. Chocolate chip cookies, any type of sweet treats. That's why it's Zevin Sweet Treats, y'all. Mobile, if you want to call me, area code 872-225-2680. That's 872-225-2680.
All right, we are now back for real this time at the Shits podcast. We either shooting the shit, starting some shit, or picking up what shit left off. We are in here with my man Griffin, breaking down a lot of shit, hip hop wise. Like I said, hey man, y'all go check out that motherfucking the De La Soul album. Y'all go check out the motherfucking DOC album. If y'all not up on that, we putting y'all up on it. One of the coldest albums to be made, the DOC.
No one could do it better.
No one can do it better. And you brought up a very good point. If the DOC did not have his accident, would there be a Snoop Dogg? That's a very good question, bro.
I'm not to say it wouldn't, because Snoop is an incredible rapper, and he was plugged in with Warren G, and you know what I'm saying, he had his thing, but it wouldn't be motherfuckers skip school for Doggy Style and shit. Like, I think that would have happened with the DLC second record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there wouldn't have been a need for the Chronic to even happen, because Dre would have had the doc already.
Right.
When he does Death Row and does the whole shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of the inspiration for the Chronic happening was the DLC inspiring Dre to do it and giving him the confidence that he could do a Dr. Dre record. Because again, at that point, G, it hadn't been done. The only motherfucker doing that type of shit was Quincy Jones. Wasn't no producer records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was this MC and so and DJ so. Like, it was a team and it was a group and it was a whatever. But it wasn't no like, I'm the producer and I'm finna put out a gang of different rappers on my shit, but it's my album.
Right.
Like, that hadn't been done as far as I know at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Then also, it also makes me
Nope,
think.
I'm lying. Maybe Marley Marl. But Marley Marl didn't even do In Control till after. Was that after or before the Chronic? In Control Volume 1, Marley Marl, when he did an album, he did all the beats, and all them Juice Crew niggas rapped on it.
Okay.
It was Cool G Rap, Biz Markie.
About what year was that?
And shit. That's what I'm trying to remember. That was before the Chronic. So yeah, Dre wasn't first, but they was on that shit.
Man, it was dope.
Shit, yeah. I just want to be
But that
clear
also
for
make
the
me
record.
think, bro, about what that would have done for Texas as far as the hip hop scene if DOC would have blew up like that.
I mean, Texas was doing this, like, at the time, Facing them was on one too already.
Right.
By the
So I'm
time
saying,
the DLC shit came out, like, the Ghetto Boys was out.
right. So
Scarface
you
was
think
a
about it. So
thing.
you'd have had the Ghetto Boys, you got Scarface, and then you had the DOC added on to that. What would that have done for the way we look at Texas as a hip hop hub? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like,
Still
I mean,
look
but
at
then
Texas
again,
the same, I think.
Can't
I
go-
just think it would be different for Snoop, and it'd be different for the DLC himself. Like, that shit would have changed the trajectory of a lot of shit, and I don't think we would have ever gotten a Chronic. Like the Chronic would have been the DLC second album.
Okay.
Maybe if he went G-Funk with it. But the Chronic, like that would have been in 91. That would have been Dre putting the DLC next fucking album out under Death Row. Like he would have been the main artist on Death Row. Like all the shit would have been behind Doc, I think.
So kind of switching it up a bit. So we was talking about West Coast, talking about Texas, talking about Chicago. When you started thinking about Chicago and some of Chicago's hip hop cliques and crews, you know what I'm saying? Depending on who you talk to, people can name numerous cliques and crews. Do you think, because you've been in it for a while, you've been immersed in this scene for a long ass time?
Shit, from the beginning of it, for the most part.
Exactly. Do you think that the hip hop, the Chicago, the cliques and the crews, do you think they have done more to progress the culture of Chicago hip hop? Or I know motherfuckers may get pissed off when I say it, or slow it down?
Neither, actually.
Okay.
Like, number one, people forget that Chicago is a consumer town.
Okay.
So that's the number one shit we got against us as far as trying to be a breakout city. Our radio stations don't break records. It's hit format. GCI ain't never said we break records. They say we play the fucking hits.
Damn, good point.
They play the hits because other cities break records. If you go to Atlanta, everything on their radio station right now is going to be on our radio station 4 months from now.
Okay.
They break records in New York. They break records in LA. They break records down south. They do not break records in Chicago. Mm-hmm. We buy records. George's Music Room is one of the most popular spots ever because that nigga sold a lot of people's records out of that store on the west side. Mm-hmm. Consumer town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's number one. That's like that has nothing to do with no crews, no niggas, no none of that shit. That's just the way Chicago is set up.
Okay.
Period. So that's like problem number one and shit. And then I don't think there's any one motherfucker that could put it on, and there's no one crew that could have killed it either. Okay. Every city I've been to is the same. And when I was living in LA niggas was saying the same shit Chicago niggas saying about Chicago. They saying that shit in LA about LA right now. Ain't no unity. We all trying to whatever at each other. Like it was the same shit. You go to New York, they gonna be saying the same shit about other New York niggas.
Okay.
Texas, other Texas niggas. Like it's not like a Chicago thing. We just are we around it more, and we, you know what I'm saying, we live here and shit, so this is our reality or what the fuck. Mm-hmm. Especially if niggas ain't been nowhere else for a significant amount of time, this all you got to base shit off of. Not a knock, it's just all you got to base shit off of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I lived in other spots and I seen the same shit as far as the local scenes in every fucking spot.
So I meant to ask this, and I apologize. So I really should have asked this a long ass time ago. Where you from?
Chicago, Inglewood.
Okay, cool.
I was born and raised in Chicago.
Okay.
I just
moved around.
Yeah, at a certain point it got to be like, yo, I'm gonna do this shit, and I need to go somewhere where I can walk into an office or bump into the motherfuckers I need to bump into and do this shit. Makes sense. So in '98, I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
I was down there for like 2.5 years. Ended up doing a lot more dirty shit than music shit. You know what I'm saying? So it got funny style. Like I was in the county for a second down there and shit. Like it got stupid and shit. So I came back to the crib. Yeah. Redid shit and figured out LA was where I needed to go. So I went to LA. I was out there for like 6 or 7 years. Mm-hmm. But it was all because of music. Like, it's popping in Atlanta. Let me go see what's up with it. You know what I'm saying? Because Chicago, again, consumer town. You can't walk into a Def Jam office or a Columbia or a whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that shit is here. We got middlemen. It's a city full of fucking middlemen and shit. Gatekeepers and shit, and that's it. But I know, like, the nigga ain't here. That nigga is in LA or New York or Atlanta, and you could bump into him if you go there. So that was my whole thinking, where if you go to Santa Monica and walk down Colorado, nigga, it's MTV. They're like, these are the offices. Like, standing outside, I'm gonna bump into somebody that's producing, doing some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just a whole, like, let me leave the city, because I did everything. I rocked every venue. I done all the shit I could do here.
Right.
Got to go outside the city and see what's cracking and shit. Atlanta worked out funny style just because niggas was on some nigga shit. Yeah. You know, on some survival. I was 20, 21 when I got down there, so it was kind of up and shit, you know. But LA, I had a little more of my shit together or whatever the fuck, and I'm out there trying to, like, That's when I met Ice-T. That's when I got down with Project Blow, AC Alone and all them. Bionic was out there. Like, it was a dope-ass experience, but I plugged in to a lot of shit that's like authentic relationships. I'm cool with all them niggas right now. You know what I'm saying? But I still hit motherfuckers up from out there and shit.
And that shit is important. Like, that shit is very fucking important.
That shit's more important than being dope. It's having good relationships with people that's out here doing dope shit. Like, you could be a huff-ass motherfucker and fall into a gang of shit based on who you know and who you was cool with at whatever time. And who you looked out for and whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Because a motherfucker look out for you.
Yeah. Or a motherfucker just do it off familiarity.
Yeah.
Like, they'll look out for you and don't know why they are. It's like, man, I do know you. Yeah, come on, I know the nigga face. Come on, type shit. And you'll end up in situations just based off of having good rapport, and motherfuckers know good shit about you just off some, ain't no fuck shit with dude. Like, come on.
fuck with him.
And then you in a room you needed to be in for something. You know what I'm saying?
Which is that's how the fuck it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's the goal for you to be able to make it, to be in those rooms, so you can do what you gotta do in politics with the motherfuckers you gotta politic.
If you're supposed to be.
Yo, we gotta take a break real quick. Hey, yo, shout out to all the motherfuckers out there, man, that be going state to state and I'll be flying on Spirit and your ass just depressed like a motherfucker because the motherfucking seats is fucked up. It's just podcast, man. It's the sheets.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the American Dream, the American Nightmare, the Heartbreak Kid, Young Barker. And when I come to Chicago, I check in, I get on the radio with the S.H.I.T.S podcast. One more time, man. Give a big shout out to the S.H.I.T.S podcast. Young Barker Productions, man. Holla us. We out here.
Yeah.
Be safe out here, boy. Shout out to that
back
nigga
at the
Black Knight,
podcast.
bro.
I'm here till
Don't even
chop
cut
it
that.
up.
Shout out Black Knight.
We traveled with my man Griffin. Shout out to Black Knight in the building. Well, he was in the building. So we talked about what Chicago don't have. You know what I'm saying? Why it's kind of difficult for us to
The
make.
plug ain't here, nigga.
Right.
The plug ain't here. You gotta fly the dope in.
So speaking of such, okay, this is what I have observed, and correct me if I'm wrong. To me, it seems like you becoming the plug. You are the plug with the shows, that you put on with.
I'm not the plug. GQ the plug. That nigga know everybody. He part of the Letterman and that whole investment group.
Okay.
Putting together that type of shit, and like GQ is the plug. Like, this motherfucker, that nigga knows everybody, dog. Like, he's Spider-Man. Like, this motherfucker in the middle of a web, and he could reach out 6 degrees of separation and find whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just to clarify that shit. Like,
And I appreciate that.
right.
However, you play a part in it.
I connect the dots.
Which is important.
I definitely mold the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see the available assets and understand where to put them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that matters. I just didn't want to act like that nigga wasn't like, I don't know half these niggas. That nigga knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? I get to know him and we cool. Like, our relationships, I can get to whoever I need to get to, but bro, like, has those relationships already with every fucking body.
Right.
That shit is ridiculous. Like, all right, so.
And it's to me, I feel like it's good to be amongst that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like just listening to everything you said from where you've been, whether it was Atlanta, whether it was LA, like, you picked up shit. You know what I'm saying? You picked up knowledge about, hey, I need to be in a room with this person. I need to connect with this person.
Like, I tell my man TK, like, bro, niggas take L's all the time, but it's up to you whether you look at it as losses or lessons. And I take L's and them bitches be lessons, nigga.
Oh, yeah.
So any L I take, I definitely learned some shit from it. Like, I'm not finna take the same loss or shit twice. It's not gonna happen 2 times because I got the lesson out that motherfucker. So from all them situations was like, yeah, I'm learning some shit. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like a L got took, but a lesson got took, and that's good. So I ain't tripping. And all of that shit applies to right now and all the shit I'm doing and how I know how to handle artists when I'm booking you, but it's not a regular booking agent. Nigga, I'm an artist, bro. I know what the fuck. Like, we finna look out for you. Like, I know how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's a blessing for the city. I think it's a blessing for the scene, because I do want to speak on the Barmageddon event, which was dope as fuck. And I know we had Andreas Haley on the show, and he spoke about it. And when he spoke about it, he was like, this is going to be a rapping ass show. That's what I mean. Like, and that's exactly what the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying?
Good rapping ass show. Not
It
a
was.
fucking.
It was-
I'm bored. These niggas is fucking rapping too much. This show
Nah,
shit
it
ain't
was-
one of them. It was
it was-
like a holy fuck. Like,
It was dope.
yeah.
Like I felt like being there and being like experiencing it. It was like for niggas who love hip hop, for niggas who love lyrics. You know what I'm saying? For niggas who love performances, for niggas who love like dope ass beats. And like I said, I commended you for that because you was a part of that shit. When you start to think about those type of shows and capitalizing on the success of those shows, what's one of the first things you think about as far as how to get people out to those shows?
Well, it's not really about the show. Like with this one, we were trying to create an experience
Okay.
specifically for motherfuckers that's 35 and older that don't go out much because anything hip hop, you don't know what it is now. It could be a whole drill
shit.
show. It could be this. Like, there's no real identifier on which brand of hip hop you're gonna get at the event you're going to.
Right.
So I wanted to make it absolutely sure, like, yo, this is a 90s vibe. If your ass missed the 90s shit, here's an experience of what that shit felt like and what that shit was like. So we did a regular grassroots in-store joint where it was free for people to come out. J. Dot had a DJ set where he was spinning all the artist shit.
Shout out
you know
to
what I'm
DJ.
saying? The shit was dope, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like the show, whole after party shit with local sponsors and shit. Like, it was, instead of it's, and then like the artists like at the fucking event, bro, they in the audience, they're in the crowd. It wasn't no green room, they in VIP or some dressing room or some other shit. It was like real personable. So we wanted to really provide that shit as a authentic hip hop experience that a lot of motherfuckers don't get. And shit, that shit turned out exactly like that. You know what I'm saying?
And,
It was
and
really
that's what y'all
dope.
did, bro.
It was
That's what y'all
super
did.
dope.
Like, for a motherfucker that pay attention to lyrics and for a motherfucker that pay attention to performances, I liked what I saw. I think Andreas Haley put on a dope show. I think Vic Spence put on a dope show. I Am
Everybody
God,
snapped, G. That
Jude
shit was
Chillin,
crazy.
The licks.
Then what?
Raz Cans,
low-key,
King
nobody
T.
peeped. Like, so the venue we picked is a black-owned venue on the South Side. Nobody's really done anything there.
Privilege,
before.
right?
Privilege.
Shout
yeah.
out to Privilege.
Dope venue. Maurice is the owner and shit. Like, he looked out for us and shit. But that's a black-owned establishment. The in-store was at Inglewood Branded on 63rd and Ashland. My man Corey owned that shit.
Okay.
Black-owned clothing store and shit. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Then we did the after party at the Yadigski, my man Mix Spot. It's
Okay.
a little smoke bar and shit, but it's a black-owned spot. And we did all that shit on the South Side. And normally, when hip-hop shit comes here, it's up north.
It's always up north. That's
Wicker
what I
Park.
said.
It's, you know
Always
what I'm
up
saying?
north.
It's not even out west. It's just up north. Like,
Yeah.
so there's no, it's no shit that happens for us where it's like, I'm not 20. I'm not trying to be on the club vibe. Like, niggas is trying to
Chill.
peep some shit, go through some nostalgia, hear some dope shit I remember.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Kick it a little bit,
Yeah.
have a couple drinks, whatever, on some regular ass shit.
Yeah.
And we just try to provide that shit. It's a void. We trying to fill that little gap up and shit.
Yeah.
So we got a couple more things coming on the same vein. You know, 35 and up, nigga, like trying to kick it again.
And I appreciate, like, I honestly do appreciate where y'all took it, man, because, like I said, like, for me to be up in the spot and to hear somebody rhyming over a dope ass beat and they say a clever ass line, you be like, oh shit, it fuck with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you be like, you appreciate that shit. Because sometimes it be funny as hell, or sometimes it be some shit where you be like, damn, that nigga went there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's kind of like, for me, I feel like we don't get a lot of that shit these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of motherfuckers, to me, in my opinion, a lot of motherfuckers not really focusing on the wordplay.
Because
No.
the music, as far as rap goes, became about the cadence and not about the word anymore.
Right.
Niggas don't give a fuck if you said some clever shit. They want to know you said it in a clever way.
Right.
So you could have said some dumb bullshit. But if you said it where it sounded cool, then they rocking with it. Because the cadence of that shit, they could bop to the shit.
Yeah.
And that's like that's the bar now, which is fucked up. And that's why I go back to, like,
Very much so. It's
I've
fucked
had
up.
before the whole No Diddy Puffy campaign, like, I've been on that shit. Like, I don't fuck with dude. And I never have. Like, when niggas like Puffy did something, like, I don't know what he did. I don't listen to his records. Like, I don't fuck with bro.
Right.
Because it like, it's some vulture shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And him coming in the game and niggas hearing dudes like that rap, this motherfuckers at home like, nigga, I could rap better than that.
Because they can.
And they right.
'Cause they
So you lowered the bar, and he's one of the reasons why every like it used to be, it was one or two niggas from every nigghborhood that could rap.
Yeah.
Niggas, oh, my cousin, oh, this nigga over here, call that, go get
Now
that
everybody
man.
can rap.
Every other house, bro.
Everybody can rap. Everybody
Every
can
other
rap.
house. And it was like part of that happening was because of fucking Diddy.
Damn.
You lowered the bar so far that all these niggas that shouldn't be rapping is like, yo, if this nigga's making millions, I
I
can do
know
that.
I can do it.
And he just paying niggas, he writing checks for motherfuckers to write him bars. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna do that.
Whack bars.
Not all the time. He just delivered them whack. Cause Sauce Money wasn't whack, but and he had some niggas that got some pens.
Jadakiss wrote for him too.
He got pen. He ain't a rapper. He shouldn't be delivering none of this shit, bro. Sound goofy to the motherfucker delivering
Right.
this shit. You know what I'm saying? But niggas didn't care because he had a whole lot of money, and that was a problem. It's a slippery slope. Y'all didn't give a fuck. He had money, and now here's where we are.
Exactly.
Niggas don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers got money or they look rich. You follow them, and that shit's some goofy shit. That's some lame shit. We was never on that shit, but
Yeah.
here we are, nigga, and it's like part of the reason. I ain't saying he's the main whatever, but him being so prevalent and taking that Biggie spot and using that whole shit or whatever and putting himself front and center, like, yeah, you
We
had a
all
lot
got-
to do with that shit, nigga.
We all got Diddy.
You had a lot to do with that shit,
No pun
nigga. That's all
intended.
I'm saying. That was before any of the
Pause.
allegation shit or whatever. That's just
Hey, yo, we're going to take a break real quick. Hey, shout out to the motherfuckers out there, man, that actually got Diddy at the parties, and they got a story coming up, and
Jake jerking niggas.
no pun intended. All right, it's just podcast, y'all. It's the shit.
Yo, it's Griffin. Checking in from Inglewood. Motherfucker, you know I'm with the shits.
Yeah. We are now back at the Shits Podcast, man. We've been in this motherfucker just chopping it up with my man Griffin.
Cause I'm gonna have to roll another one in a second. We keep doing this shit.
And hey, yo, I appreciate the fact that my man got a lot of knowledge as far as hip hop goes, as far as what motherfuckers need, as far as what the culture
I've
needs.
just been doing this shit for a minute, G.
Hey, I mean,
Like,
it's
watching
important.
it,
It's
you know
important.
what I'm saying?
So
On some high level shit.
I got this thing, man. It's this portion of the show called "What If," man. So you got to reach in there, pull something out, man, and we're just gonna say we're gonna whatever it is. Let me see. All right, bet. What if God was a black woman?
What you mean? I thought God was a black woman.
Okay. Just gotta ask that question.
I'm just saying, just to put it like, that's I don't know when we get into the God shit, but like people don't honor their parents the right way because really your mom is God. Like if God is the creator who created you, motherfucker, your mama did. Who you come out of? Who?
Came out your mom.
Yeah, that's God, bro. Like what fuck you mean?
So
That's the end of that. You know, like
I'm glad you said that.
what you mean? What if? It's all I mean. Like that's not even a what. That shouldn't even be in your bag, bro. That's
glad-
not even a what if and
Well,
shit.
I
Like,
like
what
to-
you mean? Like, how?
I like to put it out there as what if everybody realized the black woman is God? What if the whole world realized the black woman is God? What would be the difference? How would our
What
society
if-
look? Well, how would our society look different?
What if, like, to be real honest, what if it's not like that for everybody? Like in
Elaborate.
a real way, like everybody's mom isn't a black woman necessarily. Like it's different nationalities, different ways of life. It's
Okay.
different, all kinds of shit. Like now the original and all. Like when you want to get into where the first bones was found and all of that shit, then yeah, that's where it all began. Cool, but it's not like that for everybody. Like if the person that gave birth to you was God, everybody's mom ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. People got different religions, different ways of looking at shit, and I don't know. You gotta honor and respect that shit. Like there's beliefs where when you go to heaven or when you die, the shit that happens is whatever the fuck you thought was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Like there is no one size fits all for this shit.
Right, which is what people think,
It's not.
and that's what we taught.
That's what because that's what they trying to make it.
Right.
So they can do their thing.
Right.
But it's that's the whole dope shit about hip hop, bro, is the individualism and shit is on full display. That was the fucking crux of it all.
Right.
It was like you could let whatever your thing is, nigga, go do that thing.
Yeah.
And we finna honor it. Let that shit shine. Oh shit, look at that nigga doing what his thing is.
Be
He's
you.
cold at it.
Be you. This nigga wrote a rap about being on the toilet.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's cold at that. That shit's entertaining in whatever way. Like he's a interesting fellow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody's like that, and they found their thing. Your shit might not have been on the mic. You DJ. You cold at that shit. You
Right.
transforming and shit and all that shit. Your shit might be paint, motherfucker. Like this shit is all art. It's all expression. No matter how the fuck you doing that, even down to how you dress.
Yeah.
How you talking, walking, is how you're expressing yourself. The confidence you carry when you move around a fucking room.
It's your creativity.
That's hip hop,
It's
nigga.
you.
And that's what hip hop taught motherfuckers. That's why now you can't judge any books out here because you'll have the squarest looking white motherfucker. You'll never think he'll whatever. And this motherfucker knows all DOS effects shit.
Wow.
This motherfucker knows the Juice Crew. You know what I'm saying? You just be like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, nigga, now it's whole, like, by hip hop being 51 now, there's an entire generation of motherfuckers that grew up on nothing but that shit.
Right.
Not just niggas.
Everybody.
The world.
The world grew up on it.
Like, motherfuckers that don't speak English grew up on this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some other shit.
No, you're right.
That's some other shit. You
You're
know
right.
what I'm saying?
And the thing is, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful. It's powerful. It's powerful as a motherfucker. And the thing is, for a person like yourself, who has the opportunity not only to make that music, but to put people in a position where others can see their art, where others can hear their art. That's powerful, bro. You see what I'm saying? That's powerful, and that's why I'm saying, like, I commend you for it because I'm listening. I'm listening to how you speak. I'm listening to your passion for raising your daughter. You see what I'm saying? I'm listening to your passion for dealing with the youth. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to your passion for how the Chicago shit should work. You know what I'm saying? And how you recognize the lack of resources that we have and how we need that shit. So motherfuckers like you are very important people when it comes down to this, not just the hip hop period, but Chicago hip hop especially.
I just want to be surrounded by dope shit. I want to do dope.
But you got to
shit.
create it. You see what I'm saying?
Nah,
you got to create
I just gotta identify it. You know what I'm saying? It's not even creating it all the time. Like, there's dope shit out here. It's dope shit everywhere.
Yeah.
It's recognizing and identifying that shit and then putting it in play.
What I'm saying is you create your surroundings. We all do. We all create our surroundings, whether you know it or not. You create your
facts,
surroundings.
but that's why I say that out loud a lot. And I type it out loud. I tweet it every now and again. Like, nigga, I just want to be surrounded by dope shit.
Yeah.
Period. Like, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Dope shit. Nice cars.
You create it.
Nice fucking merch. You know what I'm saying? Proper weed.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
since we talk,
comfortable situations, G.
Since we talked within the last hour and a half, I've seen 3 dope ass pieces of merch. That sweatshirt, the one you got up under, and then another shirt. That's creating. That's powerful right there, bro.
We make shit, dog. That's what we do.
So, all right. So now I got to switch it up, man. I got to go to a real serious question. All right. So look, here's the situation.
It's not finna be a serious question. Like, the setup already let me know it's not a serious fucking question.
Depends on who you talk to. Here's the situation. So you got a person that you really digging. You really emotionally connected to that person.
It's a relationship hypothetical.
Yeah. You vibing with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a motherfucker you think of all the time. You know what I'm saying? This is the person that you feel like you want to spend your time with, right? Here's the problem. No matter how many showers she take, no matter how much deodorant she put on, she will always be musty. Do you stay with her? Can you stay in that relationship?
Some niggas like musty.
We ain't talking
I
about
don't know.
some niggas.
I don't know. Hey,
we talking about you.
What kind of musty? Like, it's levels to this shit. I don't know.
Like.
So basically, you're just saying, would body odor be a deal breaker in a relationship?
Like, no matter how much they shower, no matter how much deodorant they put on, like, they always gonna have that body odor.
That doesn't even make sense though. But
what if that's the case? It could be a medical condition. I'm just saying, it could be a medical condition. Do you stay? Do you stay in a relationship?
Like, that's kind of, I don't know, man. That's a weird, like, what the fuck? Like, do you stay with a nigga? You stinky. I gotta leave because you stinky. Like,
hey, but you'd be surprised.
I mean, it's a thing.
Be surprised, bro. It happens.
I know, but what's crazy is like, all right, and it's off like my mom. You know, some people like, all right, some people are blind, like or some people can't hear. They deaf.
Yeah.
My mom was born without the sense of smell at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's never smelled anything in her life.
Okay.
She can't smell the shit. So
Okay,
in that situation, she'd be like, damn, if I ain't have to smell, you know what I'm saying?
Matter.
Like, yeah, that shit wouldn't matter. So in certain situations, like, man, motherfuckers work out for each other some kind of fucking way and shit. So
The universe is always universal.
right. So if that were, I can't call it, but I mean, it really depends on how good the waffles is when she make them. Like, I don't know, like what the fuck? Like maybe she the bombest cook ever.
Right. Right.
Hey, bro, I don't know. It's situational. Like that shit is. I can't even say it on some paper shit. It's like life is too lifey for that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why I love to ask that question, bro, because I want people to think about how much are you willing to accept. How much are you willing to accept from others?
Yeah, but you can't honestly answer a question like that until you're in the midst of that situation.
That's why I want people to think about it.
But even thinking about it, you're not thinking about it as theoretical.
Okay.
That's the type of shit where you have to be like, yeah, but fuck it, man. Like she raw.
Right.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you
Can
have
you
to
get past
about
it?
that. You wouldn't be able to really honestly answer that until you're actually in that shit, bro. Like, cause right now it's just on some like nigga, oh, I never do this and all.
Right.
Niggas that say a whole lot of shit
until they in it,
and it'd be a whole different fucking situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of them questions where it's like, yeah, you could say whatever, nigga, but if you in it, it's a different you probably, nigga. I can't call it like.
Hey, yo, we got to take a break real quick. Hey, yo, shout out to all the musty motherfuckers out there that go to the concerts and keep their hands down even when the people say put your hands in the air. Hey, it's the S.H.I.T.S podcast, man. It's the shit.
This comedian Marnie P checking in from the S.H.I.T.S podcast.
We are now back at the S.H.I.T.S podcast, so we either shooting the shit, starting some shit, or picking up shit we left off. So at this portion, I think we might be in the portion we probably starting some shit, man. So
I don't be starting the shit, bro.
You don't be starting shit, but motherfuckers start shit with you, right?
Just start shit.
So let's touch on that, man, because you had somewhat of a situation. Let's speak on that.
I had a situation,
or there was a situation. Let's speak on that.
Nigga, you said what you talking about? I don't know
the beef. Let's.
Which? What do you mean? I don't. Hey.
The most recent. Let's talk about the most recent.
No, I don't. I'm not. Again, bro, if you got a question about some shit, cool. But I'm not bringing up.
Okay. So let's put it this way. Has there been a point? Has there been a point where you have been doing what you have been doing, but you have encountered problems from people that have a problem with what you're doing? How you're trying to progress, how you're trying to make shit happen.
I mean, it's a lot of behind the scenes shit in Chicago. That goes.
I don't know as much as you do, because you've been around it way longer and you are way deeper in it. But I would love to get your perspective on it and how you handled it and how you handle it.
It's a lot of behind the scenes shit in Chicago.
It's the time for it.
No, I don't even like.
It's the time for it.
Yeah, I don't know. You would have to ask me about specific situations because I can't even.
So, like I said, in the process of you doing your thing and you trying to make shit pop, can you speak on situations where people have tried to place obstacles in front of you and place boundaries on you in order to stop you from progressing the way you need to progress?
I mean, if a motherfucker try to put an obstacle up, I wouldn't know it. Like, none of that shit stopped what I was doing.
Okay.
Like, there's nobody in Chicago that really stopped what I was doing. Niggas might have prevented me from doing a specific show.
Speak on that.
Or I'm just, or being on a specific album or some shit like that. But it wasn't no shit that really, like, ain't no beef, like, stopped me from no.
So why do you think that is?
Shit.
Let me ask you that. Why do you think from what I hear you talk about, it's a lot of positivity. It's a lot of I'm trying to help motherfuckers. I'm trying to do this for.
Oh, because everybody ain't trying to help motherfuckers, and sometimes I gotta identify niggas that's out here not really like fronting like they trying to help motherfuckers, and they really trying to help themselves. Like that's when I get into issues with niggas like Rhyme Fest and shit. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like hip hop is not a grift to me.
Right.
I'm not using this shit as a means to only enrich myself for other shit.
Right.
Like, I do this shit because I do this shit. Like,
that's your passion.
Ingrained like a motherfucking shit. And if I can help anybody do that shit, like, I've never stepped on anybody to try to better my situation.
Right.
I've never shitted on nobody in this shit because their name wasn't popping the way I thought it should have been for whatever the fuck. Like, none of that shit. Like, anybody that was with me, I've always been like, my mom, like, if niggas ride in the car with you, they riding home with you.
Which makes sense.
Y'all niggas in my car and we go to the club, G, we not leaving the bitch till everybody that was in my car is good and they back in my car.
Right.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not like that. It's a gang of niggas out here that'll go to the club with a car full of niggas and leave niggas.
Come back home by themselves.
They won't even think about that shit. And niggas is stranded, whatever. Like, hey, them ain't your guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's that type of shit where I bump heads with Rhyme Fest on shit because he know I know what kind of nigga he is.
Right.
And we ain't never gonna mesh on shit. So it's always a clash. You know what I'm saying?
So would you classify him as a person that's not authentic? I mean, I'm trying to put it like.
Yeah, that nigga's a slime ball.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And again, he can rap and shit. So what? A gang of niggas can rap real fucking good.
Yeah.
But okay, name me any fucking body. Like, there's a reason why if you're a Grammy Award winner, right?
Right.
But when the Grammys that you got awarded were presented, you weren't even on stage to get them.
Right.
That was a decision made somewhere more than one time.
For you not
fucking reason.
For you not to be.
You ain't coming
like
to get it.
Right.
You wrote it. You
so
did work.
You get your credit, yeah.
But you can't come on stage with us.
Right.
More than one time. That's not an accident. There's a reason for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga's a slime ball.
So you're not the first person that I've heard speak about Buddy like that.
Bro, if you have, so he's in charge of Donda's house.
Mm-hmm.
You have a billionaire backing a nonprofit for kids.
Right.
You fuck it up. Donda's house all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And now you running for CPS. Like, I'm supposed to trust my kids with you. You couldn't even run a nonprofit with a billionaire backing your shit, cuz.
Right.
For kids.
So it's like, what's the problem? Like, something like the math ain't adding up.
You're a fucking slime ball. Like, the problem's been identified. Niggas just don't know it yet because you good at the grift. And hip hop ain't a grift to me, G. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, like, bro, listening to you, man, like, what I get from you is that you analyze things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you analyze things, and, like, it seems to me like
Pisces, super analytical and that shit. Some old, if you on the zodiac shit, like, that's that shit. Like, niggas analytical as fuck. So yeah, you right.
Now for some people, that can be a problem because they already know they on bullshit. So when they already know they on
bullshit.
I said for some people, when they come across a person that's analytical and they're really reason to shit, that can be a problem for them.
Yeah, because
they already know
you can't bullshit me and you know it. So all your grift shit is not working over here when we in a room together.
Right.
So you don't want to be in a room.
So do you think that was part of the issue that you had with Rhyme Fest?
No, the issue that I have with Rhyme Fest is he's a fucking slime ball.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I fuck with authentic people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say names and burn shit up. Like here's a story and shit, and I'll say it without even burning no shit up. When Fest was working on his debut album, a producer he fucked with for years before he got the deal and all that shit, he brought him out to the spot he was working on the album in for a couple months and shit. Mm-hmm. Bro made a gang of beats, did shit for the album. And this nigga told dude, He can't use none of the beats he made because his name ain't big enough, and he's trying to use all big name producers on this project. Like, you can't get a nigga interlude. That nigga can't get
Right.
This nigga been with you from the beginning. Like, from the beginning, we was 14 years old. This nigga was with you. You know what I'm saying?
And if it's dope, it's dope. I mean, I'm just thinking that's how it should be.
But
right?
that shows you what type of nigga you talking about. Like, this motherfucker, you're not concerned with authenticity or what's dope. You're
Right.
concerned with what some shit look like.
The name, the clout.
You a weak motherfucker, bro. Like, you supposed to ride with your people. Like, again, that's what I'm saying. You got in the car with me, G. I'm getting you home.
Right.
You put the nigga in the car and then left his ass where he was at, and you went and drove off with Ye.
Right.
Left that nigga where he was at. That's the type of nigga. Like, that's a character thing, and this is like, bro, I'm not finna go through every example.
Yeah.
But it just come back to, like, the nigga's a slime ball. And now your grift is you trying to use some shit and use the kids to further your grift.
Which
You a super fucking slime ball.
That's really fucked up. That like
You
that
fucked
part
up Donda's house, bro. Like, pull a resume of this motherfucker. Like, why you think you ain't making it? Prime got elected alderman. Ryan Fest didn't.
Right. Shout out to Andre Vasquez, aka Prime, because that shit is huge. That shit is fucking huge, and I think that's some shit to be celebrated because Prime is a motherfucker that was like hip hop. It wasn't even like a commercial type nigga. It was like hip hop. This motherfucker.
I remember when Prime pop, I was out. I remember when he came out. I remember when he first popped up on the scene and shit. Like, I fuck with bro. But yeah, it's, you know, authenticity matters and shit. And you run across people, like, it gets identified who the fuck they are. So the stories you hearing, and you don't hear a bunch of stories about a motherfucker that's not true. If it's a bunch of stories about a motherfucker,
probably true.
Hey, man.
There's probably some truth to it.
Nigga.
Hey, yeah, we gotta take a break real quick. Hey, man, shout out to all the motherfuckers shady. Nah, fuck that shit. We ain't shouting them out. It's just podcast, man. It's the shit.
Monsoon, Bubble Ball. It's the but I can't say that, you know.
Yeah. We are now back at the Shits Podcast. We're in here kicking it with the one, the only, my man Griffin.
Yeah, Twister got a GOAT case. You can make a whole case for Twister being the greatest of all time. On technical rap shit.
So I like the way during the break you broke down that he writes 32 bars.
Twister writes 32 bars for every 16 we do.
Right.
Just like Tech 9, same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Twister shit, super clear. Every word he hit it.
Yes.
The shit he put together is crazy. Like, the nigga's a fucking lyricist with the whole thug emphasis and shit, but he's a fucking writer. And you could feel that shit, hear that shit, and all that shit. And he talk about shit niggas seen out here, like our shit.
Yeah.
Bro.
It's audible.
You can make a fucking case for any rapper you bring up. Mm-hmm. You can put Twista shit up against this nigga shit and be like, yo, he got one of them. Yeah, he got one of them too.
Right.
He got a couple of them. A case can be made, is all I'm saying, is that nigga's in the conversation of the greatest motherfucker to rap.
Do you think that he get the amount of credit that he deserves?
Fuck no. Okay. Not at all.
Why do you think that is?
Humility.
On his part.
He a humble motherfucker.
I mean, I like the fact that I see him out at the spots.
You'll see him at the spots, humble as hell, but he don't like... Kanye is not one of the greatest rappers, but motherfuckers will talk about him like he one of the greatest rappers because he tells them he's one of the greatest rappers.
Yeah.
But Twista ain't like that. He just gonna be one of the greatest rappers, but he ain't finna tell you. It's like the difference in LeBron and Jordan. LeBron will be like, I'm the best ever, I'm the GOAT. And Mike just like, nigga, just look at.
Right, you know what it is. Right.
I ain't got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
For
that's the difference in that shit where, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers both great, but one motherfucker's in your face about it and another motherfucker kind of humble with it, so you don't get recognized as much because you're not standing on it this hard. You just kind of doing it.
Right.
So when niggas look back over the shit and flip through your catalog, they be like, damn. But you wasn't standing on it like, nigga, this album was the greatest album that ever albumed this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't one of them motherfuckers and shit. So you might get glossed over on some mainstream recognition shit. You know what I'm saying? But bro is up there. He's in the I don't give a fuck. Like, that nigga in the conversation.
So do you think more artists should be more like a Twista and be like more humble with it, or be more in your face and be like, no, motherfucker, I know I'm dope. I'm dope. You should know I'm dope. I don't know why the fuck you not saying I'm dope.
There's
like,
no blueprint for this shit. We make the rules for this shit. You should be your motherfucking self.
Okay.
And enjoy your shit, bro. Period. Like, there's no, like, one be like, what should artists do? Like, nigga, be a fucking artist, nigga. Like, can't nobody tell you how to draw a picture.
Right.
You paint the picture how the fuck you want to.
Right.
If you want to follow this style of Renaissance in the 20s, all that shit, cool. Follow that little shit. But you don't have to. Why? Because with art, we make the rules to this shit as we go, nigga. Like,
that part.
You know what I'm saying? It's hip hop. That's what's the dope shit about hip hop, and what niggas that grew up on this shit learn from this shit is we make this shit up as we go, bro. Like, all this shit was made up. Religion, all this shit was made up. At some point, somebody made this shit up. And then the gang of niggas like chimed in and was like, yeah, I believe that.
Right.
But at some point, it wasn't know that.
Somebody
made all this shit up, dog.
Right.
We made it up, nigga. We make the rules, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel you on that. I think,
ain't no like, nigga, what advice would you give an artist? Nigga, be a fucking artist, bro. Like, stop trying to find a blueprint or a magic. Do you
be a creator?
Make shit.
Be a fucking creator.
Like, make shit.
Yeah.
Nigga, what the fuck? Make shit.
Be a fucking creator. And I think that and do from the conversation that I've had with you, that's what I got, is that the importance of being a creator, whether it be the merch, whether it be the rhymes, whether it be the relationships, and, you know what I'm saying, the connections that you make, connecting the dots, you know what I'm saying? All that shit is you creating a space, you creating an environment. And I think that shit is important, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to go off of, just really being honest, I'm going to go off the last event, which was the Barmageddon event. You, whether it was you by yourself or whether it was you with GQ, y'all created a space where motherfuckers who loved hip hop was in a dope environment and they felt it. You know what I'm saying? And they fucking felt it.
I'm telling you, dude, the energy in the building that night was like, I haven't felt that shit since some 90s shit. Like, it felt like the Elbow Room vibe on a Monday night in 96 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, this is that shit. This is what made niggas fall in love with this shit.
Right.
Like,
and that's what you
bro,
need.
The Licks, shout out to the fucking Licks, man. The Licks was scheduled to rock for 35 minutes. The niggas performed for an hour, and we had to pull them off stage because the venue was closing. Like, I'm not lying. You know, it was just like niggas, the people watching and the niggas performing had so much fun that night doing the shit. Like, niggas was like, y'all overtime. They do E Swift back there like, I don't know what song we doing next.
Yeah,
we just pulling up shit. Like, he's just pulling up records and they just rocking them motherfuckers. It was just like, you was back there, Durs, like, it was like, what's next? I don't know what y'all want to hear. Like, nigga, Mary Jane, cool. He pulled that shit up. Like, boom, they rock Mary Jane. That shit wasn't even in the set list. So it was just like, Rassy was supposed to rock for like 25, 30 minutes. Bro was on stage for 45 minutes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, made it a point to stop his show to be like, yo, the Chicago niggas y'all seen was like, y'all witness future legends. Y'all don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really on that shit. Like, so the energy that was created in the building was literally reminiscent of what it felt like when niggas was late teenagers, early 20s in the spots in Chicago. Like, yo, this is what it was.
In the midst of it.
Where now you got these shows where
Chicago dope.
If a big name artist comes to the crib, you got a gang of openers that's probably not that good because they paid for their slot to open.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can pay for it, so that's why I ain't really fuck when the mixtape shit was happening. I respect the DJs and all that shit. But the fucking grift of charging artists to get slots on your mixtape, like, now your mixtape just finna sound like whatever the fuck.
That's a whole nother story.
Like, whoever the fuck paid is now on the mixtape, and you can't guarantee all these niggas was even dope. So now you not doing it for, yeah, this is what's some raw shit. You're doing it for, I made $5,000
for the money
before I even put this shit out.
For the money.
It's
bastardized
about this shit, but I got a name, so now I'm exploiting myself and pimping my name, and it's just like,
it's bastardized.
It sucks, man.
It's bastardized.
It waters down. It fucks up the product because now you got like you got a mixtape nobody want to fucking listen to.
Because you got 30 fucking artists on there.
Bands.
Yeah, you got paid. But you got 30 fucking artists on there that's subpar at best.
At best.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got yours. But like the consumer, and I'm glad you pointed out before, the Chicago
culture. Even fuck the
Suffers.
consumer. The fucking culture suffers because not only do you have some niggas that shouldn't be doing this shit, thinking they should be doing this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You done robbed the world of some engineers or some cold ass nigga could have been a raw mathematician or something, but this nigga think he a rapper and shit. Like,
Right.
come on, it just fuck up the balance of everything. You with letting whack shit ride and doing the shit for the grift. And that be my problem with half the niggas. Like, dog, hip hop, it's the same. We go back to the shit where Beat Street was authentic and fucking breaking was a grift.
Right.
They both the same, but it's you see the difference. Like,
Yes.
this is the grift, and you see.
And I love how you
this
broke that
product look
down.
Like, but this product is like, damn, that shit is gritty and kind of raw in your face, and yeah, that's the shit. This shit over here is all it's pretty and but there's really nothing to it. This shit is flimsy.
It's fluff.
It's nothing really there. You know what I'm saying?
I love the way you broke that down.
I don't know. That's just
Hey y'all, check this out. I can honestly, and I'm saying this with all sincerity. This shit can go on for hours, man. But I know motherfuckers got shit to do. And honestly, bro, I truly do appreciate your time, man, because you got a lot of shit going on, like real shit. And I really do appreciate what you're doing for the city. I appreciate what you're doing for the culture, and I appreciate what you're doing for the youth because motherfuckers need it. You know what I'm saying?
some of these little niggas just need a conversation because there's shit that really hasn't ever occurred to them, and nobody said it.
Nobody's saying it.
And you know what I'm
That's the
saying? Not to
problem.
say I'm not even like I done fixed it and they listen to me. Like they don't listen to me.
They just need a motherfucker.
They
to
gonna
say
hear
it.
me later though. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you
And it's
just
shit like
hope.
that. Cause like even you gotta remember, like, that's the biggest problem I got with a lot of grown motherfuckers and shit is y'all niggas forgot what it was like to be 15.
Man, bro.
Like y'all forgot.
Man.
And I be trying to hold on to that and remember, like, hold on, like this nigga's an idiot right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's 15. This whole value structure is fucked up.
Right.
So even when we was on that shit and we was on our wild shit, by the time niggas hit 25, 26, all the shit we was hearing from the right motherfuckers came back on some like, oh shit, like these are life truths.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That came out. So you just gotta be the motherfucker sometime that's the, oh, I'm tired of hearing that shit. Yeah, I know.
But I'm still gonna say it.
I'm gonna say it. Like you gonna hear it because nobody's saying it to you.
And you need to
so you
fucking
tired
hear
of it. So when it come and you need it, it's gonna be in your mind for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's been situations where you needed it and it wasn't even in your mind for you.
Nobody
Because
fucking
nobody
told you.
fucking said it, bro. So it's as simple as that a lot with young motherfuckers and all that shit is number one, meet them where they at. And number two, you know what I'm saying? That shit. Like,
So I'm gonna say this, man. Let people know where they can find you at, what you got coming up, because not only do he have music, he's doing the events, he got merch. So let everybody know where they can find you at, because I'm tell y'all like this, y'all need to get in tune. Y'all need to get in tune with him.
shit, Twitter is @Griffin or email me, man. I can't even spell the shit out though. It's anti-everything at Gmail, but nigga, that's pointless to even. But hit me on Twitter @Griffin, GRIFFEN. I got 3 albums coming out before the year ends and shit, like Effortless Pen 2, The Immortal, and another joint with my man Dad Makes Beats called The End Is Near. So those shits are coming. We have more shows coming. I'm planning on a couple more events, but we not doing shit. I don't do it every month just so it can be an experience for real, like some actual special shit
Yeah.
where it's like, yo, this is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I'm not trying to water that shit down and make it whatever. So I'm 3 or 4 of them a year, and I'm Gucci and shit. I'm hitting niggas every
For
season
sure.
and shit, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But the music is always cracking. Yeah, shout out to Gigani, Dad Makes Beats. And yeah, shit. I don't know. @Griffin for the most part, Twitter, like
For
that's
sure.
where you could catch me and shit.
Hey, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I
Shout
don't
out
know.
to Scarface, man. Sorry, prayers up for Scarface, nigga.
Definitely.
I hope you
Definitely.
get better and shit, but I fuck with bro Face Bob music. That's my shit forever, nigga. I'm gang for life. You already fucking know. But I'm sorry, Carrie.
No.
That shit.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I don't know who need to hear this. But stop overthinking. Stop overthinking things. Here's the thing. If you know it's a fact that you don't know, why not choose to think positive about it instead of thinking negative about it? Because the thing is, you don't fucking know. So to make yourself feel better, at least think positive about it. You know what I'm saying? So stop overthinking. Also, make fans, not followers. Followers will get you clout, but fans will get you work. Trust the process. Understand that the only thing that happens overnight is sleeping and slobbing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Griffin.bandcamp.com. That's where you can find all my shit, bro.
There we go.
I should have plugged that, but it's Griffin with an E. .bandcamp.com and shit. Like it's a gang of music on that motherfucker and shit. So yeah.
Y'all get in tune. Y'all get in tune. Man, y'all can check out the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you get your podcast at, you can find me on Instagram at Monsoons to Raw. That's STARAW. Also, the Shits Podcast on Instagram and on Facebook.
Appreciate y'all having me too,
man. I thank you for coming, bro. Like, hey, listen,
real
y'all. I've been blessed to be able to sit down and converse with people that's doing some big shit and really get the opportunity to really pick your brain, man, and really get that knowledge. Because the thing is, like, these are Google in person. That's how I like to look at it. It's just Google in person. Instead of me Googling what this man doing and what he talking about, I get a chance to sit here and talk to him about it. So I appreciate that, and I thank you for your time.
Most of this shit ain't finna be on Google anymore.
Yeah.
Shout out to TK and shit and the Letterman and shit. Those guys helped me put a lot of this event shit together and financing and shit and securing sponsorships and shit like that. So yeah, TK,
hey,
BQ.
Hey, y'all get in tune.
Yeah, shout out Morris and my people, Inglewood Branded. That's my guy. Like, yeah, leaders in them. You know, Chicago shit, boy. Chicago shit, y'all. Dope shit. I just want to be surrounded by dope shit. So I only fuck with niggas I think is really dope, G. Period.
And I heard a saying that night that I think is dope as fuck. And I know somebody coming with a t-shirt for this shit. Where they said, Chicago niggas
never forgot how to rap.
Never forgot how to rap.
Shout out I Am God. That's that nigga whole shit. Also, Effortless Pen is on. So No Mediocre is I Am God's label.
Okay.
It's only 2 artists on that shit. Me and that nigga.
Oh.
So Effortless Pen, the first one came out on No Mediocre.
Okay.
And Filthy Analytics and shit. But
y'all get in tune.
Part 2 comes out on No Mediocre and Filthy and shit also and shit. So that's the only shit besides I Am God shit that's on No Mediocre right now is some Griffin shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my man. I fuck with him.
He dope.
I've been trying to encourage bro for a really long time, and he went way past any expectations, and this motherfucker, like, yo, he's incredible, man. He's a dope ass artist.
It was a dope show.
Nothing but the best for that nigga. Like, I want that motherfucker to go farther than I ever went in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
It was a dope show. But bro, it ain't over. Hey y'all, y'all make sure y'all get in tune. Shout out to my man Decadurs, because without Decadurs, this would not be possible. Shout out to anybody.
Shout out to Cab Crew, Butt Crew. It's unity now, nigga. That's what
Shout out to anybody that fuck with the Shits Podcast. Hey man, shout out to my man Bub G, man. Shout out to my man Bub G. Shout out to Dee Licious. Shout out to B Carrington. And hey man, y'all make sure y'all get in tune with us. And we'll holler at y'all next time. It's the Shits Podcast, y'all. We out. Peace.